It's crunch time to grab the last amount of units required between now, which is today, the 25th of November, and January 2nd. Why is this important? Well, the Banquet event should be something that will be running in December. So you have got 38 days, by my recollection, or my kind of prediction, to save up the warranted amount of units to do this event. Something we'll talk about in a minute is looking at previous years and how many units you theoretically needed to take part. When I say take part, grab a little bit on the milestones, grab a few more units from the milestones to then get you further down the milestones, and then of course kind of qualify for helping out with your alliance, getting stuff back, which of course is very important and grabs extra rewards from it. Something I need to stress at the moment is that I'm currently away whilst this is a pre-recorded video. I am away for a works thing, so I should be back later on today to record some fresh content. But I want to make this video now to get people thinking, especially because a lot of people will be making these very quick decisions to go, do I spend my units now or do I wait for the Banquet event? And how many more units can I grab before the end of the event? So, judging on last year, the running of it, as I've said before in previous videos, the event ran from the 20th of December to the 3rd of January the following year. So that is basically 2 weeks, theoretically. Whether or not the event drops on a Tuesday and finishes in 2 weeks from there, 14 days from that point on a Tuesday, going into the new year, it may be the case, but the event always runs for 14 days. So the way I'm treating this particular event is it's going to be put out on the 19th of December, which is a Tuesday, and it's going to finish on the 2nd of January. But it could be something where it starts on a Wednesday and finishes 2 weeks from then on a Wednesday. So it could start on the 21st of December and end on the 4th of January. But you get the idea with that one. In any case, the point to kind of say is because if it's longer than that, if it goes more than the 3rd of January, hey, good news, you got an extra day to grab some more units. But we need to look at how many more units you can get and also kind of apply it. I've sort of done a video like this previously, but I just want to make a kind of okay, well, if you spend all your units now and you're on 0, how many can you theoretically get in the time remaining? And that's something that I want to bring to the table. Immensely so, because people want to do Necropolis runs. They want to take part in Cyber Weekend, and they want to take part in this event as well. So let's get cracking. Let's look at some details, some information, some grind theories, and also numbers. So first of all, there's 38 days between now, which the 25th of November, and the 2nd of January 2024. Very important. There's also 912 hours in that time frame. Why do I mention that? Well, it's all about solo events. As a lot of you know, I'm very much all about solo events as a main way to grab units. So if you take if you take 912, you divide it by 22, because 22-hour events, you get 41.45. Let's round it to 41. Let's say 41, for heck's sake here. Of course, that's 41 revives, that's 41 health potions, but the most important thing is units, which is 1,025 units just by doing solo events. We'll come back to that in a minute. But what else? There's 5 weeks and 3 days. This means if you include what's going on at the moment arena-wise, then you have theoretically got yourself 11 rotations of arena, one being the one in situ at the moment, and then when it starts next week, then you get that. That's also the amount of weeks times the Summoner Sigil that you can pick up. It's also the amount of times the 60 of the Alliance events. If they rotate that way, in theory they might, in theory they won't. But obviously, we're just giving you some details, some information to go off. So, what else? What is the likelihood of you picking up a good chunk of units? Well, here you go. At the moment, we got a fabulous based event for Battlegrounds on at the moment. Make sure to do it. You get some units. Even if you don't like Battlegrounds, it's the units. As much as, I can criticize Kabam about the way that they kind of do certain events, they've also put out some opportunities with, this is the second type of fabulous crystal acquisition based event for Platinum Pool, which gives you free units. I really can't find any issue to kind of complain about that. Thanks to Kabam for doing it. Although my crystals got me 1,000 units, got me 400 units on stream, and I saw other people getting 1,000 plus units. So I hope that some ran the corner. So let's say on average, people were getting anything between 1,000 to 1,500. Although for worst case scenario, and what's left, I'm just going to put 400 here, just because I don't trust Kabam. I've been stung, other people have been stung as well. So, but then I'm seeing other people, even Seaton got like 1,000 units. I'm thinking, okay, Kebab, fine. Is it a case I've got to put money into the game again in order to get something good from it? What is going on? No, that's tinfoil hat job there. But look, if we're looking at free-to-play units, looking at just over 2k, and that's by doing the that's calendar, that's uncollected master, heroic, normal from December. Of course, if you got leftover units from this particular month, the month of November, then hey ho, you've probably got some more opportunities. Of course, a lot more of the other units will come from doing arena, sadly. But look, just do it. If this is the only time that you will only do it, just do it. You know, that's probably the best thing to say with this. But of course, if you're spenders, you get 2,450 from the Summoner's Sigil. If we're talking about arena-based grinding for this, well, look, it's again down to like what you want to achieve out of this, what you want to get. From the low-end perspective, we're looking at 1,738 units by milestone 12 of Summoner Trials. You may do more, you may do less. Don't know. Just a theoretical kind of like thing here. Then if you're looking to do the Catalyst Arena, which I try and do a lot more of, and actually it is more easier nowadays to just throw some 5 stars in there because I don't really use 5 stars, then you can find yourself just getting that in a just short space of time. It's 30 units with low effort. 330 from that. Again, the Summoner Trials, and then milestone 10 of basic arena by pushing to there. And then the same thing with the high-end grind. You're looking at altogether about 5,368 units. You may get more, you may get less. It depends on the level of investment time-wise you want to do. And I would say that whilst people are on holiday, I think we're still having Thanksgiving holiday season. I think it's actually, whilst I'm recording this, is the Thursday. I think it's on now, or it's going into the 24th. In any case, I don't know how, if you get a long extended holiday allowance for it, but this is a great opportunity over this weekend to go and grab some extra units and save for the Banquet event. But I think the main thing is people want to be interested in, well, final totals, Rich. What is it likelihood if I put in a bit of effort now, what am I likely to get out of it? Well, look, from a very low-end perspective of grind, if you open up your fabulous crystals, you could get very lucky. You could be looking at about 2k, 2,500, maybe even 3,000 units just by doing very little, including the solo events as well, of course. And then, of course, there's going to be some other things as well. Like, if you do a bit of arena grind, you could see 5,200. If you get lucky with your arena crystals, you could get more, you could get less. I've had very lucky times. I've had very unlucky times. If you've got a low amount of battle chips, I'm talking anything between like 100 to 200k, pop open the arena crystals, so the 2,000 battle chip versions, and try and do the 10 volume a time, the 5 volume a time. That can give some good luck. I've had some good luck from it recently, so again, up to you. I've seen people have great luck with uncollected ones, so there's lots of different kind of approaches to that. It just depends on how lucky you feel. But if you're really putting a lot of effort in, you could see yourself getting over 10,000 units, which is more than enough. I would say, again, the terms of like more than enough can really stem to here. If you've got about 3,000 units, you're fine. You may even be fine by about 2,500. It really just depends how Kabam have evolved the way that they've done the milestones for this. The reason I do mention that is the way that Kabam have structured it. In the very early stages of some of these milestone events, you can find yourself with the amount of points you put in getting the likes of 500 units right off the bat, which allows you to reinvest. So it means that you have a very kind of a small unit threshold right off the start. Especially when it comes to the alliance perspective, where if you're able to, as a team, put in a good amount of effort, like first off with spending on banquet crystals, you can see yourself getting to like the what was it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th milestone, and manage to scoop up 500 units between those two right there. And of course, there's a process. The reason I do a lot of this kind of like content about Banquet Event, and I'm sure I'm probably boring people to death, but the reason I do it is in order to prepare you, because then when it comes to it, it's like it really helps out free-to-play players. And if you go through a year of doing a little bit from getting deals at the end of the story quests, July 4th deals, Cyber Weekend deals, the odd deals that pop up like that cap thing recently, then you get opportunity, and opportunity can help out stuff that you might be surprised, like, oh, I'm actually close to forming something. Oh, I'm actually, this has aided me to get a champion, which I didn't have before, which is able to help me like get some content done. So I'll be doing my event guide as I normally do. But look at this, like we'll just go back in time to something that I put together, which is a 3,000 unit scenario. Now I did make a bit of a mess of it last year, looking at this, like how messy that is. But yeah, like I said, like how much 3,000 units kind of like helps you, and also points grinding for free. Now this year I'll try and do a bit better way of kind of structuring how this works, because of course it required a process, and that particular process, yes, was a bit confusing, but unfortunately it was a little bit confusing at the time. So how to do free points farming, which was a case of opening up banquet crystals. As part of the calendar, you do get free banquet crystals. If you get free banquet crystals, what you can do is open them up. You open up the banquet crystals, you get points. Points mean prizes and mean that you can go further down the milestone. So stuff like this. So it's like saying, okay, well, you go further down the milestone because Kabam give you free crystals, which I don't know if they put the calendar info in this one. They do not. But there was also like a side event, which was the Accolade solo event, which allows you to get banquet crystals. So getting the banquet crystals, open them up means points. So in theory, you don't need to have a huge amount of units to begin with, but of course, you know, Kabam could change this. It's just a case of like, of course, we're theory crafting a lot of it. And theory crafting it was certain days of the month of December, you were able to open up banquet crystals, which led to points. That points in particular, with no unit spend, was 14,150. This meant that you got milestones in units picking up 1,050, which, as I said, you may need you may need units, but you don't necessarily need a lot of units, so you could get away with about 2,000 units to get you further. But this particular process I did, which was like 0 unit spend, or 0 units you had prior to the event spend. Of course you need to like reinvest it, but that was the point. You got these units in by opening up crystals, so therefore it's like that's the process of point acquisition, which you got for free. But yeah, the further you kind of invest down, you were getting to 29,001 and then 35,000 respectively. So okay, that's been the video. I hope you enjoyed it without going into any detail, because look, this is all about helping out you understand. I would say my top tips for this kind of like follow on was my notes, which I'll put in the description. Okay, is that you won't need necessarily 3,000 to 10,000 units, but it does help, especially because of the rank rewards, which we went over in a video recently. So do bear in mind, you will, if you do want to get a good score from this, you will need to put in a good chunk of units. If you're able to get a good chunk of points, then of course you could find yourself getting, if I can get it into shot, right, there it is, anything between 10, 12,000 units. It will get you a good score. It will get you sorted to a degree, but look, if you want 6 to 10%, you're going to have to go a little bit higher to about 16,500, maybe a little bit higher than that. It's going to be down to you how much you want to invest in it. But there we go. That's been the video. Thank you very much for watching. And also, if you're doing Arena, use Arena boosts. Get yourself to milestones quicker. Good luck in the grind. Good luck in the farming. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.